Hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick video on my trip to Paris with my mom. It was a great time and I'm just going to share some of the highlights. We were able to stay for a couple days, about a little over a week, and I want to just show you some of the highlights of what we saw, some of what we did. Paris definitely surprised me. I didn't think I would like it, but I think I'll definitely be going back. These are just some of the sights I saw when my uncle was driving me around the city. And of course, we had to see more of the Eiffel Tower. It's so beautiful to see. It's lit up at the top of the hour every evening. Now, I don't remember what this monument was called, but we saw it outside of a jardin that we visited. And at the end of there, you can actually see the Arc de Triomphe. And there was an amazing oboe player that played there too at the Louvre. Can we just stop and stare and look at the Eiffel Tower again? Look how gorgeous it is. It was so nice. And the streets were hustling and bustling when we were out and about that evening. We went back, of course, to the Eiffel Tower and to the ceiling, and the afternoon the next day. Of course, people were there, but we didn't go in a time of year that was so crazy. And back at the Eiffel Tower, it looks just as beautiful in the daytime as it does at night. We definitely had a blast looking around. And I had to get my influencer moment at the Eiffel Tower. It was dreamy and there was not a lot of people there, so I had to take my moment, of course. The pictures, beautiful. We then went to the Jardin, not too far from where the Eiffel Tower was. The fire for the Olympics that happened last year was still happening this year. They kept it there at the Jardin des Tuileries. It was beautiful. I absolutely love jardins, gardens, parks, and so this was therapeutic to me. It was peaceful, and look at this view. The colors were changing. It was already fall, and this was like the end of August, beginning of September. So I love a good garden, worth walking around. There was an area that the garden was yards and yards long that you can walk around with, but there was an exit where you can see a lot of the, I guess, tourist attractions outside of the park as well. And some beautiful statues that's been here for centuries. For any architecture buffs or nerds, just wanted to show you that. And every garden that we went to actually had some nice gates where you can go in and out. And then we went back to the Eiffel Tower at the evening, and this is under. You can go to different floors for dinner or for views. We stayed on the ground. Under the tower. One of the great things about having family in France is that we did not go to too many of the popular touristy food spots. We went to where the locals were, as you can hear. They're just Parisians here, all French, and so we were deciding on where to eat. There were so many options, outside seating. The weather was beautiful initially, and we actually ended up going to a delicious Italian French, clearly French, but pizza shop that made fresh pizza. This was the best pizza I've ever had. Looking at pizza in the States now, I'm side-eyeing, like I've been missing out. So good, so good, with pepperoni, I think some sausage, and they have a gooey cheese that's popular in Europe and some Spaniard cities. And this was just some parts of the restaurant when you're going downstairs. It was very romantic, is what I'll say. Thank you. Not too far from where we ate our lunch is the La Maison Stroet, which is the oldest French bakery in Paris, established in 1730, and it was beautiful to look at. Look at the ceiling. Look at this. Look at the walls and the mirrors, like art. And also everything is baked from scratch, of course, every morning. And it was so delicious. We ended up getting some chocolates and I think just chocolate we were ended up getting. And we were supposed to go back, but things happened and we didn't get a chance to. So we have to schedule it next time we're there. They had macarons, they had eclair, they had everything. And the people were pretty nice when we were in there as well. And you could see, look at the kitchen. Everything is baked from scratch. And they had some sorbet that they made fresh as well. So would definitely go if you haven't. It's called La Maison Chloé. I'm pretty sure there's some by the touristy area. But again, we were on the local side. So things were cheaper. And of course, everybody spoke French. Then, of course, it started raining out of nowhere. And I didn't have an umbrella, but my cousin did. But this is just rain in Paris, even in the rain. On one of our days, I looked up a city called Épinay and decided I wanted to visit. So I tagged my cousin along, who hasn't been there. So me, my mom, and my cousin took a train ride to Épinay. One of our stops to get to the other train was in this city. This is very Southeast Asian filled city, beautiful colors. It was great just walking around there. I wish I had more footage. And then this is us taking the train to Épinay. It was about 2 hours away from the city that we were staying in. It was very scenic, but we definitely fell asleep because you had to wake up really early to get to Épinay. While walking to the museum in the area of Épinay, which has the Champagne, it's the Champagne region, we saw a hidden jardin. So I had to take a look. There was a beautiful chateau in there. I think it's also a museum. And there was also a garden where we had to stop and take pictures because why not? Very picturesque. I have to remember the name of the garden. But here is Épinay. The city that we ended up going to see, the Champagne region. And we actually went into this museum and estate and took a tour. What's great about the tour is there were translations, French, English, German, you name it, they had it. And you can walk around with a translation kind of stick that helps you understand what they're saying. And the first stop was this beautiful ballroom. Soak this in. I felt like I was in a fairy tale movie and definitely need a ballroom to at some point have parties. Everything was in its original condition, but upkept as well. And this estate was very, very grand, open, luxurious, and beautiful. And there was a garden outside of the estate, of course. Part of the tour, of course, every chateau there in Épinay has its own wine. That's why it's one of the Champagne regions. And this chateau particularly had a tour, in addition to the castle, of how they make their wines and their wine note. This was super interactive. If you press the button, you can smell the fruits or the nuts or whatever the item was in each of these containers. Super unique. I've never experienced that before in a museum. So that was cool at their Champagne museum. And we also got to see just more of how they make the champagne and its origins from the founders to where it is today. We even got to see the wine cellar downstairs of where they age wine. They didn't have any at this season, but you can definitely feel it was definitely cooler is what I'll say down there to have the wine age. But it was a cool sight. I thought I was in a James Bond movie though. Can you imagine a car and a speed race down here? Because I did. More pictures from the estate because it was beautiful. And I had to do my beautiful queen moment as well. And this is the pictures of the garden outside of one of the windows. Mwah. We got a chance before we left to see the Monet estate as well. Estate where they make the Moet champagne. Because again, Champagne region of all the world. All the champagnes are made here. And so we got a free tour of this one. We had, of course, all the different types of champagne, the bottle sizes, the history of the Moet champagne, and the hotel. They actually have an hotel that someone can stay in there as well, and a restaurant, rather. Not a hotel. They had a restaurant. Service was amazing. The bottles were luxurious, very Paris. Definitely worth going to Épinay, and we definitely had a little appetizer before we left for the day. merci.
Je vous en prie.
Oh man, now I gotta check something. They don't have that. Clip. Merci.
Yes.
Sans bébé? Oh, sans chocolat?
A ver, sweet overs.